Welcome to Owl's Airguns. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Got a number of things to cover, so I'll move right along. Hey, my wife and I had a chance to visit Macomb, Illinois on her work. And while we were up there, what a beautiful city. If you haven't been there, Macomb is the home of Western Illinois University, home of the Leathernecks. Hey, go Leathernecks. Got this cap while I was in town. And just a gorgeous city. Really enjoyed our visit there. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, I definitely recommend stopping in, checking out the town square. Also, very cool music store there by the name of Square Music, right on the square, and definitely worth stopping in at. In addition to musical instruments, guitars, amps, that kind of thing, they also have something like 10,000 vinyl albums and skateboards, all kinds of really interesting stuff. So shout out to the Square Music in Macomb, Illinois. And let's talk about air guns. Now, one project that I've fallen behind on, but haven't given up on, is our custom pistol. And what has happened there, I love the looks of this 3D printed dovetail breech. And we kind of had a little vote on it. Everybody wanted to use it. This breech had actually been in my toolbox for a while. And, unfortunately, I discovered one of the shortcomings of the 3D printed products. And that is many of us air gunners, particularly with regards to our Crosman pistols and some of their air guns, take them apart all the time. We're also modifying them all the time. And some of the 3D printed parts just don't have the durability that the Crosman original equipment parts do, particularly things like their steel breech. And, that thing's very robust. You could drag it behind the car. It's going to still work just fine. And as I've upped the power in this pistol, taken it apart multiple times, ultimately this breech has failed. It's got a couple of cracks in it that I haven't been able to repair. And don't know that I've used it in the way the manufacturer intended, so I'm not discouraging or slamming the product in any way. But ultimately, I needed to replace that breech. Now, one of the things that I had in my toolbox was an old Crosman steel breech that had not been stored properly, and it had a little bit of rust and some discoloration on it. So I started refinishing it for use on that pistol, and that was part of the slowdown. I will publish a video on how to refinish these, but one of the basic things you need to do is take off the bluing, because the bluing had been ruined, disfigured by improper storage. So that simply happens in a vinegar water bath. You can take vinegar and water, 2 parts vinegar, 1 part water is what I use. Soak the breech in there for a number of days. I had this one in there for about a week, and it will remove all of the bluing. That way you don't have to polish it or sand it or remove it mechanically. After that, now I do need to go back and sand or polish the breech and either refinish it. I'm not sure if I'm going to fire blue it or perhaps leave it in white. It's still in a very in-between stage now, but I am going to have to replace the breech on the custom pistol, and I decided to go with a reliable breech that I know, and thought this refinishing project might be a good one to do a video on too. So watch for that. It'll be coming out. Hey, as you see on the screen behind me, I recently published a video, or actually 2 videos, first an opening and then an in-depth review of the Marlin lever action BB gun, actually made by Umarex. We've been doing a lot with BB guns lately. I'm going to stick with that theme for just a moment today, but we will be getting back to the more high-powered pellet guns and that kind of thing for those of you that have those interests. But I would encourage you, if you have any interest in BB guns, to check out the review. The Marlin product, and this is actually manufactured by Umarex, is a really neat take on the old lever action BB gun like the Red Ryder. Got some neat updates to it. Would encourage you to check it out. I had always wondered about this gun. Hasn't been out real long. Had seen a couple of other reviews on it, and yeah, it's really a neat product. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. While we're on the topic of BB guns, a while ago I had made a video where at my dad's place, while I've been caring for him, I discovered my old Sheridan Blue Streak 5mm air gun. And it was an air gun that I had a lot of fun with as a kid, kind of my pride and joy for my early teenage years. Shot that thing tons, hours and hours of fun, and had a lot of really good history for me. Well, the other day, while at a birthday party for one of my relatives, my dad says to me, "Hey, I found some stuff that you might be interested. I think I've got a couple of your old BB guns." Well, like many people, my first gun was a BB gun that was purchased for me by my grandfather. I showed a picture of it in an early video. It's a Daisy Golden Eagle. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. So I didn't think it was likely that that's what he found, because that had really been left at my grandparents' house, and I was away when they passed, and the house was, gotten rid of and all that. So I hadn't left it at my dad's or anything like that. So really didn't think I would see that again, but was very curious what he had. So I was over at his house, and he starts digging through his closet. And one of the things he pulled out was an old Red Ryder. Hey, I was very happy to see that. This one's actually only about 20 years old. I'll go ahead and do a piece on it. This is one I bought when my youngest boy was small, and we were at his grandparents, and they live on a couple of acres, almost 3 acres. And we wanted to do some shooting. So I picked up a Daisy Red Ryder that I had entirely forgotten about, and apparently had left at my mom and dad's. And it's complete, all the original documentation, still got the leather thong in the box. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat product that I was happy to see again. Well, he goes back to the closet and digs around some more, and I'll be darned if he didn't pull out my 1975 vintage Daisy Golden Eagle. Now, if you're familiar with this gun, when it came out, there was a fake scope on the top of it. It was actually not a magnified optic. It was simply a scope-looking peep sight. It had a scope tube and basically a peep sight on the end of it, and that was the sighting system for it. Well, I was thrilled to find this again. I've actually been watching eBay and a number of other sources, looking for one, thinking at one point I might be able to replace my childhood BB gun with something that looked like it, but was super thrilled to find this and to find it was still in the condition that it was. This gun's now 50 years old, and one of the flaws of these old Daisies, they do have a plastic stock on them, and often these forearms warp. They end up looking like a hot dog that's been cooked. And this one, as you can see, is still in really, really good shape. Now, I don't have the scope anymore. Obviously, it was lost along the way. My dad says it's not at his house as far as he can tell. However, the gun still functions. Actually, I've only oiled it once. It chronographs at about 216 feet per second. So a little more oil and that may pick up. But yeah, I very much would like to get it back to original condition. So if anybody knows about replacement sights for these, if you have access to one of the old scope tubes or scopes, I would be thrilled to hear about it. We look forward to maybe buying it from you. So, or if you know about anyone that has those kind of parts, please go ahead and either email me at this address or leave a comment and we'll get in touch. But like my old Sheridan, this dates back even further, and it was a gift from my grandfather, and I spent countless hours shooting this BB gun, both myself and with uncles that are no longer with us, with my granddad that's also passed, and yeah, had a lot of sentimental value. And I think these things are a testament to how well made these old Daisies were. very cool. Like I said, this one is dated right about 1975, and pretty cool BB gun. So I wanted to share that with you. That's pretty much most of the updates. I haven't been publishing quite as frequently. Hope to get back to that schedule. Part of it was due to some health conditions, had to have a surgery, yada, yada. And also have been very privileged. One of the things that I haven't discussed on this channel is I grew up as a musician. And my first actual job when I was 14, my mom got me a work permit so I could go to work at a local music store. And music stores are something I've always very much enjoyed and have stayed involved with over the years. And actually had a time in Oregon where I was very honored to run a music store that the owner had to go away to take care of his mom, who was ill down in Florida. And I had started part-time there as just kind of a lark to get back to my roots. And when that happened and he was having to travel to Florida for months at a time, I was honored with running it. Also, I'm a strings technician. I repair guitars and actually also violins, violas, all of that, cellos, basses. So yeah, had some training, lent itself well, and really enjoyed my experience in the music industry. Now, as it happened, a surgery that went bad ended up disabling me and causing me to move away from that career. But recently, I became friends with a fella that has a chain of music stores, and he's asked me to do a little bit of consulting with him at his stores. So I've been active there again. It's been kind of good for me to reunite with some of that. Really doing it as a labor of love, not as a financial thing. But it did take away some of my time from the Airgun channel. So I hope to be publishing more again. And thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for tuning into this. Also, let me add, if you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing so. It really does help us out. Also, can always use a thumbs up if you think I did a decent job or enjoyed what you saw. And we've got a really good group of members here on YouTube. So if you'd like to, that's a great way to support the channel, meet some other neat airgunners. Go ahead and think about becoming a member. Hey, thanks a lot. Take care.